Nice, comfortable couch.
You look like Dr. Evil in that chair.
I kind of feel like Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
I used to have a good Dr. Evil imitation, better than that one. Would you like to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Hold on. What did he used to say again? Give me a line. What was his line?
$1 million.
Thank you very much, Rosie. $1 million? Am I a little evil? Maybe. Am I a tad evil? Sure. Oh, look. It's Mini-Me. Hello, Mini-Me. That's not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
I haven't heard it in a while, but that's a
That
good
was
one.
excellent.
That's
That was
surprising.
excellent.
You didn't see that one coming.
Well done.
Real quick, before we get to these rankings, Case is calling from High Point, New Jersey. What's up, Case?
Yeah, it's like it's oozing from the speakers, Ev, the amount of joy and glee that you have with the Nick loss on a Friday, sandwiched with the movie with Jet, sandwiched with another Nick debacle. We need to read the room here. Of all things this weekend, percentage of the Knicks losing. Where do you rank that this weekend, Evan?
That's a great question, and you may not believe me. Planet of the Apes premiering is at like 90%.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. And I think you guys will understand this, even if you're not a fan of the Apes series. Have you ever had a movie that you've been so excited about, where literally for years you're waiting for that movie to come out? Yes. As soon as War of the Planet of the Apes for the Planet of the Apes ended, and Caesar was clearly dying. I'm sorry, that's not a spoiler. The movie came out in 2017, okay? And Caesar was dying. And he's told by one of the great apes of all time, our friend Maurice, when Maurice says to him, no one will ever forget what you did. I knew, like we all knew, they were coming out with another one. They had to. Yeah. The story wasn't finished yet. And one thing we've learned this year, you need to finish the story. So for 7 years, I've been waiting for this movie.
It is a long time.
That's a long-ass time.
COVID complicated it? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
That's a really long time for a sequel to a movie.
They changed the director. I'm sure there were differences of opinions on things. COVID. I don't know the exact reason, because when they came out with Rise, it was like every 3 years they would come out with the next one. Yeah. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes. This one took 7 years. So for 7 years, I'm waiting. I got my oldest kid loving the Apes movies. We've seen all of them except for the one that we don't talk about, though I will mention it in a few minutes. And so to go to a movie theater.
Abe Lincoln.
Shut your mouth. To go to a movie theater and see a movie, and even if you're not into the Apes, think of a movie you are excited about. There's nothing better. I put it above sports. You want to know why? The Knicks, the Nets, the Mets, the Jets, they play every year.
Yeah.
You know they're going to play every year.
It's also, you're not sure of the emotion you're going to get.
That's right.
Like, you just as well could have elation as despondency based on watching a sport. But when you're watching a movie, especially when it's a series like these that you know are going to be good, at least you hope they are, you're most likely to be entertained.
Well, okay, so
you're highly entertained.
You're right and you're wrong about something.
Go ahead.
So on Saturday, as I'm getting ready to go out to see this movie, my wife looks at me and says, "You look nervous. Like, what's wrong?" And I said, "Honey, I'm very nervous."
You're watching movie nervous? Look?
Yeah. She said, "Why are you nervous? It's a movie." I said, "What if it sucks? What if after all these years of waiting, it's terrible?" Now, I don't want to spoil anything, so here's what I'll say. It was good. That's what I'll say. It was good.
Not great?
Well, I'm going to present to you the top 10 rankings of every Planet of the Apes movie. Are you ready?
I am.
Number 10, the remake. The remake was an abomination in 2001. I believe Tim Burton should never be allowed to direct another movie ever again.
Call it Abe
I
Lincoln.
believe Marky Mark should be banned from acting.
Just call it Abe Lincoln.
And that movie from top to bottom should not have happened. And believe it or not, to bring everything together, the last time I ever walked into a Blockbuster was because of the remake of Planet of the Apes.
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. 2007, I was dating a girl. I was about to give her the test, right? Let's see if she likes Planet of the Apes. I go to Blockbuster. I said, "I'd like Planet of the Apes." They hand it to me. It's the remake. I said, "Excuse me, sir, I think you made a mistake. I don't want this abomination. I'd like the real one." And he looked at me and said, "Sorry, it's the only one we have."
What?
And I said, "Are you effing kidding me?" And I think he even said, "Is there another one?" I'm like, "Is there another one? Is there another one?"
Wait, he didn't know about the original?
What an idiot, right? That's why I called him a bleeping idiot.
How old was he?
I don't know,
Please tell me
17?
he was like exactly. So he was a
he was a
teenager.
kid. I cursed out that kid.
Of course he wouldn't have known.
And I left Blockbuster, never returned again. It is a horrible movie. It should never have been made.
You boycotted Blockbuster because they didn't have Planet of the Apes.
That is correct. I treat the remake of Planet of the Apes the way professional wrestling treats certain wrestlers they don't want to talk about. They make believe they don't exist. Now, for the sake of this list, there are 10. I wanted to include it. It's number 10.
This is your list, Evan, but you just included in the list to rank it last and bash it. So really, what did you do?
I gave it thought because Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which is number 9, I gave major thought to. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes sucked. For those that never saw it, it was the 4th installment of the original series.
Yeah.
It was just the makeup was bad, the acting was bad, the story was bad.
That means number 3 and number 2 are probably going to be next on this list.
I don't know what you're talking about. Number 8 was Battle for the Planet of the Apes. That was the final one from the original series. Like, the ending was okay, and that really saved the movie, because the movie sucked. But at the end, with Caesar and the statue, and there being a tear, and not being sure what that tear actually means, that made it, like, sort of okay. But I put that at number 8. Number 7 was Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Here's the thing about Beneath the Planet of the Apes. That was the second movie after Charlton Heston, the sequel.
Yeah.
It got off to a great start. Like, you're underground, you're looking at subways, you're seeing old New York City, and you're like, damn, this thing is hot. And then they got to give us humans that have telepathy and are praying to a nuclear bomb. Like, what are we doing?
Spoiler alert.
It's 1971.
If you have not seen that movie, you're probably not going to see it.
Yeah, don't see it. I mean, you know what? You should see it if you're an Apes fan.
No, you shouldn't.
But it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
That's number 6. Ready for number 5?
Number 5.
The one I just saw, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And that's not a bad thing. I just want to make it clear there was a big drop-off between 6 and 5 because the top 5 are very good. We are now in the list of good. It was a very good movie. I liked it. It was rather long. And look, this is not a spoiler. But I want to give a comparison that Tommy Lugauer would understand and wrestling fans would understand. Do you remember the WrestleMania where John Cena fought The Miz?
Yes.
And the whole purpose of the main event was to get you ready for the next year's main event, which turned out to be John Cena versus The Rock.
A match that would only happen once, yet it happened twice.
Correct. I felt that movie that I saw over the weekend, while very good and good, set us up for the future. Now, I'm not going to tell you how it set us up for the future, and I like the setup for the future, and I'm intrigued by the setup of the future, but because this movie only came out 3 days ago, I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
But good movie. What a beautiful day, or what a wonderful day. That's from the movie.
Number 4.
This is a tough one because these 4 are just freaking awesome. Rise for the Planet of the Apes. Rise was so good. Like James Franco, I thought played his best role. James Lithgow is the poor old guy with the Alzheimer's. And obviously everything, the human battle of, we may have the cure for Alzheimer's. We got to use it. We got to test it. To Caesar. I mean, the rise of Caesar is like movie magic.
The only thing that annoyed me in that movie is that James Franco went so far and above for his dad that a real scientist wouldn't have done it.
Really? Real scientist wouldn't stick a needle into his dad with a test drug?
He wouldn't have compromised this unbelievable opportunity just to save his dad.
Really?
He wouldn't have.
I got to admit, I think I would. Maybe I wouldn't be a good scientist. I would risk humanity and the potential of everyone getting the simian flu to save my poor dad. My dad's got a bad leg right now. I'd steal Loogie's leg to give him a leg, even if it meant the entire world is going to have simian flu. Simian flu is the thing that kills off all the humans.
Yes.
Anyhow, number 3.
Number 3.
Kills off all the humans.
This one's going to be controversial. War for the Planet of the Apes. That was the last installment. I thought it was really good, man, and I was battling. I was battling like Woody Harrelson's role, the way Woody killed himself because he wanted to make sure all the humans that couldn't talk, that were losing their brain functions, like, we got to kill all those humans. By the way, what a dark movie.
Spoiler alert.
2017.
It was 2017.
Come on, bro.
If you
7
haven't
years
seen
ago.
it, you're not going to see it.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really, really good. Like, really, and that's why it was tough putting this movie ahead of it.
Number 2.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Dude, Dawn was so freaking good. The way that Caesar just wanted to be peaceful with the humans. It's all he wanted. Why can't humans and apes be friends? And, of course, that son of a bitch, Koba. I mean, my God, he was the bad ape. He was the bad ape that turned on the humans. And I thought the end of that movie was so brilliant when Caesar said, humans won't forget. The war has just begun. Great movie and a great setup. But, of course, There can only be one.
Number 1.
Get your paws off me, you damn dirty apes! They did it. They did it. They finally did it. Damn you! Damn you all to hell! I mean, the Charlton Heston final scene with the Statue of Liberty.
Spoiler alert!
1968! It's the greatest scene in movie history. Like, it just is what it is. Like, you guys can argue with me about it. That is the greatest swerve in the history of movies, and I don't think there's anything you can do to recapture
There's
that.
nobody that could have said they saw that coming.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Dude, I don't remember much as a kid, but I remember my parents renting Planet of the Apes at a Blockbuster and sending me up to my room. I was 8 years old, and my dad and mom both said, watch it, we'll wait for the scream. And I said, well, wait for the scream. And they're like, you're not going to believe how this ends. So they gave me the heads up.
That's great.
You're not going to believe how this ends. So I watched this movie. I'm like, okay, guy's on another planet. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
There's talking apes, okay. And the movie was good.
How
the
long
movie
did it
was
take you to
fine.
realize that it was time travel?
Time travel? I still didn't realize it was time travel. No, I didn't realize it was Earth until he told me.
Yeah.
Until that crown of the Statue of Liberty was sitting
All
there.
right. So here's the Rotten Tomatoes list. I'm going to go the best of the bottom.
To see how accurate I am?
Right.
Go on.
So according to Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
number 1 is War for the Planet
Oh,
of the Apes.
could be. It's not a the original.
No, War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, but that
2017.
Yeah, but that can't be over the original.
Number 2 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
By the way, those are two great movies. I put Dawn above War. I'm fine. They were very close, by the way.
Number 3 is the original Planet of the Apes.
Number 3?
Yep. Number 4 is Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
They
That
showed
Franco-
great respect for this new series. This
And-
new series dominates the list.
And yes, at 100%.
Yeah.
And number 5 is Kingdom, Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think Kingdom was bad. Like, I don't want anyone to take that as it's bad. It was good. I think those other movies are all-time classics. Like, they have put together this incredible series, and I can't wait till the next one because there's going to be a next one.
And where is Ape Lincoln on that list, Steve? 6th?
Ape Lincoln, which is
Best ending in the series.
Oh, shut your
dude.
mouth.
so their bottom
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
are Planet of the Apes, the remake.
Thank you.
Worst. No, that's not the worst. Battle for the Planet of the Apes is the worst.
I put that at number 8, but
Right.
okay.
That was worse. And then Beneath the Planet of the Apes is the second worst.
Yeah.
And then Planet of the Apes is the third worst.
Yeah, that's fine. So they like Conquest of the Planet of the Apes? Whatever.
Yeah.
It gets very confusing because there's a lot of different words that go ahead of Planet of the Apes. Either way, and I think even if you're not an Apes fan, when you get excited for a movie, which I haven't done in many, many years, it's special, man. Like, we don't have a lot of that. Like, when was the last time, Tiki, you were just, I need to go to the movie theater. I cannot wait for this thing to come out.
I mean, probably Star Wars.
The original?
No.
Oh.
The new ones.
Not the Disney one. You mean Disney or the fan of the prequels?
The prequels.
Yeah, I was the same way,
That's
and we all know what
It
happened.
was probably the prequels. Because I'm trying to think of anything else since then that I've actually really wanted to see.
Yeah, it's not a lot, man.
It's really not a lot.
And that's why when that gentleman said, hey, what gave you more joy this weekend?
yeah,
it was clearly seeing this movie.
And it's really changed because right now I don't care to go to a movie theater to watch these things. Like Oppenheimer. Like, I really wanted to see Oppenheimer.
Right.
But I was like, I'm going to wait 3 weeks. And it's going to be on some streaming service.
See, that proves you're not that excited for the movie.
Yeah,
Because
right.
even after COVID, I remember even saying this on the air. I was like, are we going to go back to movies? Like, not because of COVID, not because I'm scared of getting it, but because if we realize that, it's not really worth it. And the truth is, it is worth it when there's a movie you're just dying to see. And this was a movie, and I'm not alone, because it raked in this weekend. So I ain't some fantastical loser.
Yeah.
It made how much money this weekend?
200 something?
It made a lot of money. And they got half of my money, and they gave me a poster as we showed up. How about that? It was like a giveaway going to a Met game. Yeah. Walked home with a Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes poster. And you know what I bought my son? You know how you go buy concessions, of course? He's not a popcorn kid. Wasn't even a candy kid. They sold donuts. And he went for the donuts. Yeah. They sold donuts at the
Smart
movie
kid.
theater.